forget to like and subscribe.
And hit the notification bell
so we can go to college and get more knowledge.
But I think another big thing is I talk to a lot of banks. And one of the things that I learned from banks that I didn't really fully appreciate is that they are in fear of being disrupted by new technologies.
So you've been in a very high-profile legal battle with the SEC for almost 2 years. Both sides have now asked a federal judge to make a call on whether XRP is indeed a security that falls under the purview of the SEC. My question to you is, why now, and why are you foregoing the right to go through a trial and present more evidence? Why are you so sure that everything is already out there?
So trials are really reserved for like when there's a question of fact, and so juries and judges are like, what are the actual facts? In this case, the facts are pretty clear.
Welcome back in the place to be with your main man Corey from the CBDC Assets Group. Now, in this video, I got iRemit talking. It's like a MoneyGram out of the Philippines or Western Union, and how they're leveraging on-demand liquidity for treasury payments. Furthermore, we got Brad Garlinghouse on Fox News responding to Jamie Dimon saying that all altcoins are a decentralized Ponzi scheme. Go figure. And how the judge rules that the SEC is not following a faithful allegiance to the law. And Garlinghouse thinks that the SEC is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. It's a good one. Got a little bit more sprinkled in there for you guys too. Hope you like it. I'll see you on the next one. As promised, I got some Ripple news from the website. This is Ripple.com. iRemit expands their partnership with Ripple to further leverage on-demand liquidity for treasury payments. Ripple is a leader in enterprise blockchain and crypto solutions. This talks about iRemit, the largest non-bank remittance service provider in the Philippines, so kind of like a MoneyGram. As a partner of Ripple since 2018, iRemit is an early adopter of on-demand liquidity and has been using the blockchain-enabled enterprise solution to clear cross-border payments in real time and cost-effectively into the Philippines. On-demand liquidity leverages XRP, the digital asset built for payments, as a bridge between two fiat currencies, thus enabling instant and low-cost settlement without the need to hold up pre-funded capital in a destination market. Now, when I read that, I think about my mom. Corey, what does fiat currency mean? A fiat currency is just a national currency that a sovereign country uses and determines as their reserve currency. Having first experienced the benefits of ODL to enable instant cross-border payments into one of the top 5 remittance destinations globally, iRemit chose to expand their use of ODL. So they're already using Ripple for years, and they're expanding it. We've been able to scale and accelerate our extensive payout capability in the Philippines. We're excited for the next chapter of our well-established partnership with Ripple to further utilize on-demand liquidity for treasury management and provide the best possible service for our customers.
Crypto XRP has been going parabolic over the last day or so. Look at it now, up 24% to 48 cents. As there are some developments in the legal battle between Ripple and the Securities and Exchange Commission. Here to discuss all of the latest developments, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse and our own Charlie Gasparino. Charlie.
Thank you.
Brad, good to see you.
Before we get into this, your continuing saga with the SEC, Jamie Dimon called crypto a decentralized Ponzi scheme yesterday before Congress.
I read that. Look, I think very notable people, including Jamie Dimon, have called it a fraud. Warren Buffett, I think, had some negative comments.
Right.
Look, I think we've reached a point where we know this industry is not going away. It's here to stay. You're talking about $1 trillion of value. And I think ultimately these things, as we've talked about here on this show before, are going to be measured by what utility, what problem are you solving. And so, for him to call it a Ponzi scheme, there's 50 million people here in the United States who have direct exposure to crypto that might disagree with him.
Mm. Well, let's get to XRP because the Twitterverse is going nuts over your appearance right now on Fox Business with Charlie. And XRP, of course, the native coin to the Ripple. Tell me exactly why you think that this jump in price is happening. What news can you give us?
Look, it's hard to know. Honestly, I've watched crypto now. I've been in the business at Ripple for 7.5 years. I've been in crypto for about 9 years. And it's really hard to know. What I would point to is a couple things. Before the SEC got involved
with you guys,
with us and ETH, because again, there's two factors here. One, XRP was the second most valuable digital asset ahead of ETH. And then around 2018 was a kind of a famous, now infamous speech that kind of anointed
Bill
ETH.
Hinman of the corporation finance.
And so, look, I think increasingly as the summary judgment filings were made public, people realized that maybe the SEC really is overreaching. They really aren't following a kind of faithful allegiance to the law. And that's a quote from the judge in this case. And so I think people are realizing that, you know,
the judge said that it might be. They might not be, right?
No, but the judge said is, one, the SEC is being hypocritical.
Yes.
And two, they said that they were not following a faithful allegiance to the law in pursuit of an outcome. And I think that's what we have here. We have the SEC, I think, has kind of lost its way. I said yesterday on stage, I think it's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
I was going to ask you that. I mean,
I just think we have to remember the SEC gets its power from statutes passed by Congress. Congress gives the SEC power. The SEC can't just take power. What the power says today for the 1933 Securities Act said that you have to have an investment contract. So as you'll see in our motion for summary judgment, the first step of determining it could XRP be a security is you have to have an investment contract. And our point is Ripple doesn't have a contract. With whom is the contract? It's not a written contract. It's not an oral contract. It's not an implicit contract.
So where we are right now in the case?
So the summaries for the motions for summary judgment were just filed last week. They were made public on Saturday, which I'll mention very briefly. We had agreed with the judge and with the SEC to release those on Monday. They jumped the gun. And it's just this constant, I think, disrespect to the court process, which we've seen time and time again. The judge in this case has ruled 5 different times that the notes associated with that infamous speech we're talking about should be turned over to Ripple.
And they didn't
we
want to
still
do
don't
it.
have them.
You still don't
we
have
still
them.
don't have them.
So the case, she's going to make a decision on whether it goes to trial or not, or whether she'll just rule from the bench, right? So
yeah, I think we expect that there won't be a trial because trials and juries are really to determine if there's uncertainty about facts.
Right.
The facts here really aren't in very much dispute. The law is in dispute.
You think she's going to?
We think she has the information to make a ruling, and we think it's very clear that the SEC is grossly overreaching.